We are live. I'm going to give a couple of seconds so that we can go through. Today is really, really cold. You can see me wearing a jacket and I'm British. I'm living in Alicante. Jesus. Jesus Mary. It is absolutely freezing. So, today, let's see. We're going to be doing a B1 preliminary speaking test. Hopefully we'll have enough time to cover all of it, answer all of your questions, that I think could be helpful, tips that I think that you guys should know. We'll try to run through it pretty quickly. I'll be answers at a normal pace, like I'm speaking. I'll try to give as full answer as possible. This way, you can see what things you like to add to the answers and take out anything that you think doesn't really sound like yourselves. So I'm not going to do it with a timer today. I want to be able to discuss the points fully, answer the questions nicely, and then maybe after we've done a few practices, then we'll go and do the timing. Because the other day, it was last week, we did an aptis paper and it was timed, and I felt like maybe for some of you guys on here, it might have been a little bit overwhelming to hear things like under pressure, under a time limit, and actually having to listen to those answers could be a little bit stressful and take a little bit more time. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it nice and slow today, answer the questions fully and delve into as much as possible, trying to get kind of top marks in there in the kind of grade point system that the Cambridge Star has. Okay, so we have a couple of people here live already. So hello everyone. Thank you for joining. And so first things first, let me flip my screen around. Here we go, flip camera screen. And as you can see here, we're just going to go ahead and download the B1 preliminary exam paper. So all you need to do is go into Google, type Cambridge B1 format today. That's the paper that we're going to do. So let me just click on it here. Let's see if I'm connected to the right internet. There we go. It would be helpful if I was connected to the correct internet, which I'm not. No, my Wi-Fi is working. Anyway, so this is the B1 preliminary exam format, and what I want you to do is just download the speaking paper here. Just click on See Sample Paper. I'll give you a couple of seconds now to download it. Just click on that button, unzip it, and you'll get something that looks like this on the desktop. Okay, I can show you there. And there you go. This is all the documents inside that folder we just downloaded. And we're going to go into this one here, which is the sample test speaking, the 2022 paper. So it's a recent paper from Cambridge that we're doing. And when you click on that, when you open it up, it's just going to take you to this here. We'll be looking at page number 4. The first couple of pages, very quickly show you, is just the examiner booklet page, sample test, and we're just scrolling down to get to the first question here. The first question. Okay, so this part is part 1, and how would it start? Question here, the first question. Okay, so this part is part 1, and how would it start? Well, you off 2 to 3. It's kind of interlog where good morning. good afternoon, good evening. Can I have your marks? Make sure you know the alphabet out loud, and that's really important. I did this recently with one of my students. A, E, I, O, and U. Very, very important. Yeah, A, E, I, O, U. So, what's the examiner going to say? I'm Carmen, and this is whoever it is that's with the examiner, right? Normally it's two. Okay, what's your name? Where do you live? Thank you. And then you'll probably be sat with another candidate if you're doing a Cambridge exam, and the examiner is going to say, what's your name and where do you live? And thank you. Okay, so they'll be speaking to both of you at the same time. So answers that you may possibly say in this situation. I would say, my name is Carmen and I live in Albatera, which is located in the province of Alicante, Spain. Albatera is a charming town with a rich history and a close-knit community. I appreciate living here because it offers a peaceful environment. It's beautiful, it has natural surroundings, it has easy access to nearby cities like Alicante and Elche, and it's a great place for both relaxation and social activities, making it an ideal home for me. Yeah. Write me in the comment section, where are you from and where do you live? Yeah, and I'll review those if you guys want me to check out your answers. Okay, so what's your name and where do you live? It's a really simple question, and a lot of students don't score great marks in this part. The reason for it is because they just answer with, I don't know, Carmen. Okay, what's your name? Carmen. And where do you live? Albatera. That is not a great answer. You need to be answering completely full sentences, and don't get tricked by this part. It's all part of the exam. Yeah, so my name's Carmen. I live in London. It's located in England. I live in a small town called Pinner. It does have a nice close-knit community as well. I love living here because it has a mixture between a peaceful environment and the city life. There are plenty of beautiful large parks for children to play in, and there's easy access to a lot of public transport, for example. That's another example that you could use. So tell me your name and tell me where do you live or where you're coming from. Okay, so make sure you're using the correct tense as well when you're answering this exam paper. The examiners asked you, what is your name and where do you live? Where do you live now? Don't talk about where you lived in the past or where you're going to live. You need to be saying where you live now, immediately. Okay, excellent. Let's move on then. So nice and simple, getting warmed up. So they might ask you, do you work or are you a student? Do you work or are you a student? Okay, so you could say, yes, I'm an executive coach. In my role, I work with professionals. I help them develop their leadership skills, improve their performance, achieve career goals. I use various coaching techniques, psychological principles to guide my clients through challenges and foster personal growth. It's fantastically fulfilling to see my clients succeed and transform in their careers. Is one example. Okay, where do you work or are you a student? If you were studying, maybe you could say, yes, I'm a student. At the moment, I'm studying at university. It's a university that is really prestigious. I'm developing my leadership skills. I'm improving my performance in I don't know, in medicine, where my career goal is to become a doctor. I don't know, whatever it is that you might be studying or you might be doing. Okay, let me know again in the comments below. What do you do, or what do you study? Okay, so a nice easy question there. If you don't answer the questions in full at this point, it is it's key to note the backup prompts. Okay, so as it indicates there on the exam, it's key to note the backup prompts. Okay, so as it indicates there on the examiner paper, if to ask the goal, as lengthy as possible, use as much information as you can, because otherwise the examiner is going to be asking you more questions, more difficult questions, and you might trip up, stumble. The examiner is going to be asking you more questions, more difficult questions, and you might trip up, stumble. Asking you more questions, more difficult questions, and you might trip up, stumble. Okay, excellent. So nicely, let's keep moving. And the next question there is, okay, how do you get to work every day? How do you get to school every day? How do you get to university every day? Depending on what you answered before. Okay, so what could you say? Well, I usually drive to work because I have 3 children to take care of. It makes it more convenient for me. Even though my workplace is only 10 minutes away, managing everyone's schedules can be quite busy for me. Driving allows me to drop them off at school, then get to my job without feeling rushed, and it helps me balance my responsibilities as a parent and as a professional effectively. Yeah, see how I talked about how I have 3 children and the reasons why I travel by car to my workplace. Let me know in the comments, how do you guys go to work, or how do you get to university or school every single day? Do you travel by car, and why? It's really, really important whenever you give an answer to then dive in deeper and talk about why. I usually walk to school, I usually walk to work because my workplace is only 15 minutes away. I feel like I need to protect the environment because driving causes a lot of pollution, and walking allows me to get some fresh air, as well as save on some petrol money and look after the environment at the exact same time. Yeah, so that's another example of reasons why and how you get to work every day. Okay, so after one of those questions has been answered by one student, the examiner is going to turn to the other and ask another one. And as you can see, this being the exam paper, the examiner has flexibility. And they can choose which of those options and which of those questions they want to ask the student. So everyone's going to get a different question. You're normally not going to get the same question as the candidate who is with you. Okay, so let's tackle the second question then. What did you do yesterday evening, or what did you do last weekend? Another example would be, did you do anything yesterday evening? Did you do anything last weekend? What was it? Okay. Yesterday evening, I went to the local pub with some friends. We enjoyed a nice dinner, had a nice time catching up, and after that, I spent some time studying for an online course. It's a course I'm taking about video content creation. I find it really fascinating, and it's very relevant to my work. So I wanted to make the most of my evening by learning new skills. It was very productive and an enjoyable way to end the day. Okay, it was a nice and simple answer there. As with the other questions, always give your reasons why. If not, the examiner's going to ask you, you're going to lose some points by not giving deeper answers. Yeah, so any other ways or any other things that you could have done yesterday? If you have done nothing, say the examiner asks you, what did you do yesterday evening? And you literally just sat on the sofa and did nothing, right? Don't say that. Invent something. Imagine something that you did. Maybe you went to the cinema. Maybe you went to a restaurant. Maybe you had a birthday party. It doesn't matter. The examiner is not looking for a real answer. They're looking to make sure that you can communicate your answer. That's really, really important to note, okay? Let's take a look at the next question then. Do you think that English will be useful for you in the future? Why? Do you think that English will be useful for you in the future? Why? Do you think that English will be useful for you in the future? Why or why not? Okay, again, opportunities for communication, collaboration with people from different cultures, different backgrounds. In my career, efficient in English allows me to connect with clients internationally and access a wealth of resources and knowledge. Additionally, English is often used in business, in technology, so being fluent is going to help me stay relevant in my field and enhance my professional growth. And overall, I see an essential skill for both personal and professional development. Yeah, a nice full answer. Let's break that kind of full answer. Let's break that kind of do you think you need to answer with a yes or no? And I said, absolutely. Instead of saying, yes, I do, yeah, or no, I don't, I said, absolutely. Use different vocabulary. I believe things are pretty useful. Yeah, it's going to be insanely useful. It's going to be extremely useful. Yeah. And it's for me, yeah, because the question says, would it be useful for you? And I say something about my work, didn't I? So your answer could incorporate that. In my career as a doctor, I think it's very useful because it allows me to connect with my clients who may be from different countries or may not speak Spanish, and be able to resources, access information, write, journals, and things like that, yeah, which need to be in English. What other things did I say? I said something about being, about professional growth, right? So English is definitely used in the world of professional growth because I'm always updating my skill set. As a nurse, as a doctor, as an engineer, I need to constantly improve my professional development. An English engineer, I need to constantly improve my professional development. And English is useful because there are courses and certification about English. This is very, very good question in passing the English examination. So whether it's Cambridge, Aptis, IELTS, EOI, it doesn't matter. English English examination. So whether it's Cambridge, Aptis, IELTS, EOI, it doesn't matter. Yeah, because it is an English test. So they're going to ask you, do you think English is going to be useful? If you say no, the great opportunity for you to just showcase your vocabulary here. So one example then, yes, I live with my family. That includes my husband and our 3 children. We have a lively household, and I really enjoy. That includes my husband and our 3 children. We have a lively household, and I really enjoy the time that we spend together. Living with my family means that we experiences together, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, so that is a nice simple answer to tell us about the people that you live with. Who do you live with? Let me know in the comments below. What people do you live with? Do you live with your mother, your father? Do you live with your cousins, your aunts? Do you live on your own? It's an interesting one. Imagine if you lived on your own. Yeah, so you could talk about that. You could say, well, I don't actually live with other people, but I do live with my cat or my dog. Yeah, so you could talk about that. Though it's probably something where I would maybe invent an answer to. So if you didn't live with anyone, I would still say that I did. So yes, I live with my boyfriend. We have also a little daughter, and we have a lovely little family. We've recently moved into a nice flat together. It's in the center of Madrid. My daughter is 1 year old, and we enjoy living in Madrid because we can create some nice experiences together, travel on public transport instead of by car, which is what we used to have to do when we were living in the countryside and the school was really far away. Yeah, so again, answer in full, give your why or your why not, and give more to the answer, give more depth. Okay, tell us about the people that you live with then. So what could you say? In my case, I could say I live with my husband and my 3 children. We're a mixed race family. I'm British Chinese. I was born in the UK. Well, my husband is Spanish and he was born here in Alicante, Spain. Our children are very much a blend of our different backgrounds. I have a 6-year-old daughter, a 5-year-old son, and my youngest son is only 1 year old. And living together is a delightful adventure. My daughter is very curious. She loves asking questions about all sorts of things. My 5-year-old son is always full of energy, always up for playing. And the baby is just starting to explore the world. It's wonderful to watch him grow. Our family dynamic is vibrant, it's multicultural. It allows us to celebrate different traditions, different values. And I feel really lucky to raise my children in such a diverse environment, as it enriches their lives and it broadens their perspectives. Yeah. So let's break down that answer, because that was quite a long answer I gave there, telling us about the people that I live with. Okay, so if you only live, say, with your mother or your father or your boyfriend, or I don't know, if you have a daughter, then going deeper in that component. Okay, the people that I live with have a lot of energy. They're always wanting to play sport. They always go out together. Maybe you live with your flatmates, okay? So I love living with different cultures and different peoples from all over the world. And I actually live with 3 flatmates. I don't know, if you're in London, if you're in Madrid, you might live with some housemates. And say that we like to eat dinner together and we rotate. So one person cooks one meal each day, and we rotate so that we never eat the same cultured food 2 days in a row. That's something interesting. Tell us something interesting about the people that you live with. Don't say things like, well, I live with my daughter, she's got 2 eyes and 2 ears, because that's something very, very typical. That's not going to get you a lot of points, okay? Tell something deep about them, how they make you feel. What do they sound like? What's their noise? What's their vibrant? What's their culture? Okay. I live with my boyfriend. He's from, I don't know, from Argentina. He's from Germany. He's from Madrid as well. Yeah. Using vocabulary and using connector words. So, and, which, I feel, okay, because, okay, using words like that to enhance and lengthen your sentences, your answers, okay? Let's keep going then. Let's keep going to the next section. So this is part 2 of the speaking test. And as you can see, this is about 2 to 3 minutes in length, and it gets a little bit more detailed nowadays. So now I'd like each of you to talk on your own about something. I'm going to give each of you a photograph, and I'd like you to talk about it. And candidate A or student A, here is your photograph. It shows people learning a language. And then we'll scroll down. This is the photograph that person A is getting. Okay, so these people learning a language. And then person B, you just listen, okay? And then they'll go back to person A. Please tell us what you can see in the photograph, okay? So the examiner, as you can see here, has some backup prompts, some tips. If you stop talking, if you don't know what to say, the examiner can only say these things. Talk about the people, talk about the place, talk about other things in the photograph. The examiner cannot help you any other way. They're only allowed to say these things here. That's really important. It's not that they don't want to help you, but it's given in the exam paper that they can't say anything else. Okay, so let's take a look at the photograph. It's going to be about people learning a language there, okay? An interesting thing to note in this particular kind of component here, you don't actually have the exam question in front of you. So you need to remember what it is that the examiner asked you. So it was talk about a photo showing these people learning a language, okay? So what can we say? In the photo, we see 2 young women and 1 young man engaged in language learning in a library, okay? They're sitting at a desk which is filled with their materials, including a couple of iPads, some notebooks, some pens, and the atmosphere appears focused, collaborative, okay? They're intense, suggesting that they are either studying together or they're working on a group project together. The use of iPads indicates or shows that they're likely using digital resources, such as maybe a language learning app or an online course, which can be a really effective tool for mastering a new language. And meanwhile, the traditional pen and paper suggests that they're taking notes or they're practicing writing, which is essential for reinforcing their language, their learning, okay? Their expressions seem to reflect concentration, deep concentration and engagement, which highlights the importance of active participation in language acquisition. The setting in a library, also that conveys a sense of community, shared purpose, because they benefit from the quiet environment in order to enhance their studies. Overall, the image captures a dynamic nature of learning a language, blending technology with traditional methods in order to achieve their goals. Okay, so I gave you a nice long example there. You could say other things. And let's dissect what I said there, trying to remember what I said. So first things first, the question is talking about the photo. So you need to describe what do you see in the photo and why do you think you see it. So I'm saying that I see 2 young women and 1 young man, rather than saying I see 2 girls or I see 3 people. I'm distinguishing them. I'm saying that they're young, they're not old, okay? And what are they doing? They're engaged in learning. Where are they? They're in a library. What are they doing? They're sitting at a desk. What does the desk have? Well, it's filled with materials. What materials does it have? An iPad, a couple of iPads, a notepad, a pen, paper, things like that, okay? Go in deep, yeah? And after you describe the picture and what things you see, you can use the word suggesting. Suggesting, that means what it shows is that they're studying or they're working together on a group project. Why did I say a group project? Because there's 3 of them. Because they're all writing together at the same time. Because they're sat at a table together. You're answering the question, why? Why? Because, okay? It suggests that, okay? You can also use a really good vocabulary word, which is appears. It appears to be, because we don't know for certain. We're not sure, okay? What do their expressions show, okay? Are they happy? Are they sad? Well, in this case, they're neither of those things. Their expressions show concentration. It shows engagement, okay? They're sitting in a library. Why is that important for studying, okay? Remember, the question is that it shows people learning a language. So we need to kind of incorporate that in there, because they could be studying anything. They could be doing a history test or a science test. But the prompt from the examiner was that they were learning a language. So we need to say something about language learning. So, I don't know, the iPads show that they're using an application which allows them to learn languages. Yeah, an online course that they're watching through their iPad. They're taking notes together because they're learning a language together. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this section there. It should be quite simple. Let's scroll back up. Okay, so after person A is finished, which is about a minute in length, okay, the examiner is going to say thank you and take away the image from person A, and they're going to say, hey, person B, here's your photograph. It shows people at a party, okay? Person A, you just listen. Please tell us what you can see in the photograph. Again, the same prompts are given to the examiner. Talk about the people, the person. Talk about the place. Talk about other things in the photograph. That's all the examiner can say. They can't help you anymore. So let's scroll down and see the image, okay? Completely different from the first image. Person A probably can't even see your picture, okay? So what can we say? Remember, the question is that it's talking about a picture showing people at a party. So we know that it's a party. Okay, that's all we know. So in this case, I would say the photo captures a joyful scene of an Asian family celebrating a birthday party in a beautiful garden. The grass is lush, it's green, it creates a lovely outdoor atmosphere. In the center, we see a woman who's likely to be the mother with her hands clasped in surprise and delight, which suggests that it's her special day. Perhaps it's her party. She's surrounded by her children who are grinning mischievously. Two of them are hiding presents behind their backs. This playful gesture adds a sense of excitement to the moment, hinting that they're about to surprise her with some gifts. Tables and chairs are set up outside, and it indicates that the family's ready to maybe enjoy a meal or a birthday cake together. That gives that festive vibe of the gathering that we're at. Yeah. The overall mood of the photo, it's warm, it's cheerful, and it highlights the importance of family, of celebration. It beautifully captures a moment of love, surprise, togetherness, and it makes it clear that this birthday party is a special occasion for everyone involved, for all the family. Yeah, so this picture, I think, was slightly more difficult than the one that we just did about studying, because there isn't much really going on to kind of talk about the party. Yeah, so let's break it down a little bit. So obviously, the first thing that we notice is the cultural connotation, right? So we want to say that we can see an Asian family and they're celebrating a birthday party, because the question was that it shows people at a party. What kind of party is it? Is it children's party? No, it's an adult party. It's this woman or the mother's birthday. Yeah, although we can't see a birthday cake. That's another thing that we could do. Yeah, so you can talk about what you think it is and then say what there isn't. Yeah, be careful with that in this particular occasion, because the question obviously is talk about the photo. And although we do want to say there isn't a birthday cake, we don't want to go off on a spiral and talk about all the things it isn't. We do still want to focus on things that we can see. Although we can't see a birthday cake, we can see presents that have been hidden behind the people who appear to be her children. The reasons why we think that they're the children, well, because they have a similar hair color, because they're younger, they look like her, and it looks like mother and father, maybe even an uncle or an older brother there sat with them. Yeah, they do look like family members, because as you can see there, it looks like they're wearing slippers. Yeah, so they might be in their own garden. Yeah, so you could kind of focus in on that. Things that we do want to do in this particular picture then, the overall mood. Yeah, we talked about the mood in the top picture. The sensation is. What does it highlight? What does it suggest? What does it capture? Okay, it's very clear it's a birthday party. It's very clear it's a special occasion. And the mood is happiness. It's warm, it's cheerful. What does it show? It shows the importance of a loving family, of celebration, of togetherness. Yeah, all of those things we could talk about. Any other pointers that we've missed here? No, the examiner's just going to say, thank you. Can I have the booklet, please? And that ends this section of the speaking test. I think we're going pretty smoothly through it. This is part 3 and part 4 then. Okay, so work and relaxation. As you can see, each section is completely different from the one before it, and it includes a new topic. Okay, so this time it says, in this part of the test, you're going to talk about something together for about 2 minutes. And I'm going to describe a situation to you. So you'll be talking or you'll be discussing with a partner. Now, obviously, I can't do that because there's only one of me. So I'm just going to give you as much as I can. And yeah, and then we can talk about other types of interjections that we could say, things that we could do to interrupt a partner, perhaps at the end. Yeah. So a young man works very hard and there's only one free day a week. He wants to find an activity to help him relax. Here are some activities that could help him relax. Talk together about the different activities he could do and say which would be the most relaxing. Okay, so this is part 3. So you could say, let's see. Don't want to go off on a spiral. We do want to look at the actual images of the options that they provided you. As you can see, it actually gives you activities to help the man relax, and it's got question marks. So that's a question to help you remember what the question was, in case you didn't hear it, in case you didn't understand. And then you've got loads of different options. Now you have to figure out what those things are called. Okay, fishing, looks like he's cooking, swimming, walking the dog. You've got reading, painting landscapes, and disco partying or clubbing. You can say any of those things, okay? So you don't have to talk about every single one of those. You do have to compare and contrast them and then say which one would be the most relaxing. Remember to answer the question. Don't just talk about the different options and not come to a conclusion. Make sure you come to a conclusion at the end. You have to agree with your partner somehow. Okay, so let's think of things that we could say about the different options. So the young man has several options for activities to help him unwind during his one free day. And each of these things offer different benefits. Fishing, for example, this can be a really calming activity. It allows him to connect with nature while enjoying the peace and the quiet of the outdoors. The rhythmic motion of casting a line, it can be quite meditative. Yeah. Cooking then. Engaging in cooking can be creative. It can be therapeutic. It allows him to express himself through food. He can enjoy the satisfaction of preparing a delicious meal. However, it might also be a bit hectic if he tries to make complex dishes. You see what I did there? We talked about the good things and then talk about maybe a downside of that activity. It might not be so relaxing if he tries to cook a 6-course meal that has like 600 ingredients in it, for example. Let's look at swimming then. It's an excellent full body workout. It promotes relaxation. The soothing feeling of water can reduce stress. It's a refreshing choice for relaxation, especially in the summertime. Okay, so depending on whether you're in summer, spring, summer, autumn, or winter, doing your exam, you can refer to the weather as well. So we're in autumn now, although it does feel a little bit like winter today. I'm wearing a jacket and everything. So you could say, well, in the winter, it might not be such a great choice because after a nice relaxing session in the swimming pool, you come out to the freezing cold. So it might not be a good option. Yeah, it might take too long as well. You'd have to have a shower, dry your hair, etc. Okay, let's talk about walking the dog. If the man has a dog, taking it for a walk can be a great way to enjoy the outdoors while spending quality time with a pet. And this can encourage movement, fresh air, and it can contribute to overall well-being as well. It can be very relaxing. Okay, so we don't want to be using he or she for the dog. Remember, yeah, the dog is an it. And be careful with your pronouns here. So if the dog, if it, yeah, excellent. So It encourages a nice movement. It can be relaxing for all the body, especially after a stressful day at work or in the office. And let's look at reading then. Reading can be a wonderful escape. It can be really, really cozy. If he finds a nice spot with a good book on the sofa, it can be incredibly relaxing, rejuvenating. He can immerse himself in a different world through reading stories, or if he prefers, he could read scientific journals or update his skill set. All of those things there, yeah. So those could be relaxing. On the other hand, it might not be very relaxing if he ends up studying during that time. Yeah, it could be more stressful for him. Let's take a look at painting then. Painting landscape, if he enjoys art, painting can be very, very calming for him, and it's an expressive outlet. It's going to allow him to channel his creativity, and it could be a great way to connect with nature as well. And partying then, going to the disco, going to the club, it can be really fun and energizing. It might not be the most relaxing option though. The loud music, the vibrant atmosphere, it can be really exciting and exhilarating, but it might not be the peace that he's looking for. Yeah, so that might not be the best option to help a man relax. Okay, so which of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options do you think is going to be the most relaxing for the man? Okay, you can always draw in your own feelings and thoughts behind it. In my opinion, yeah, in my experience, going to the club is not very relaxing, so I wouldn't recommend it to the man. Okay, among these activities, I would say fishing or reading would likely be the most relaxing option, because fishing offers a serene connection to nature. It provides an opportunity for quiet reflection. And on the other hand, reading allows for a peaceful escape into different narratives, and it can be a wonderful way to unwind and relax. Ultimately, the best choice depends on the man's personal preferences and what he finds most enjoyable. But in my opinion, possibly reading would be the most relaxing, because he can read a book that a friend has recommended to him at the comfort of his own home. He doesn't need to stress out at all. Yeah, things in order for you to say. For example, if your partner is particularly talkative, then you can say, I agree, I disagree, and then start saying your your opinions on it. Pardon me for interrupting, but I disagree with you. Sorry to say this, but I disagree with you. Or I completely agree with you. Thank you for that opinion. Yeah. Remember, it's an interaction, so do interject people. And if your partner is, for example, very, very quiet and doesn't say anything, things can get awkward as well. So you could say, what do you think about cooking? Do you think cooking could be the most relaxing option? In my opinion, I think swimming is the most relaxing option. What are your thoughts? You could ask that. Just incorporate your partner, because at the end of the day, the examiner is looking for your ability to communicate, and it's not about dominating the exam question, okay, and the answer. And take a look at the last part, and after you have talked about different activities you could do, you've talked about what could be the most relaxing. The next session is asking kind of questions about what kind of is related to the question then. What do you do when you want to relax, and why? Okay, remember, you can see here, those are the only prompts that the examiner can say. What about you? How about you? Do you agree? What do you think? Okay. So when I want to relax, I often head to the gym. Yeah. So exercise helps me release stress, clear my mind. And I find that physical activity, whether it's lifting weights, doing cardio, or taking a group class, it really allows me to focus on my body and forget about my worries. The endorphins released during a workout give me a natural boost of happiness. It makes me feel more energized. I feel more positive afterwards. And additionally, the gym is a great environment to meet like-minded people, which can be also really uplifting. And overall, working out isn't just about staying fit. For me, it's a vital part of my routine that helps me relax, maintain a healthy balance in my life long term. Yeah, so nice full answer there, so that you can not have to answer all of those remaining questions. You see, it gets more difficult if you answer that question and kind of stop there. Okay, so do you prefer to relax with friends, or do you prefer to relax alone? I prefer to relax with friends, absolutely, because it adds a social element that I find enjoyable. It's uplifting. Spending time with friends allows me to spend time laughing, share my experiences, have meaningful relationships and conversations, and it can be a great way to unwind after a busy week. I appreciate having friends around me because we support each other, and that enhances my sense of well-being overall. Yeah. However, I also value time alone for relaxation, especially after a hectic day. It gives me a chance to recharge, reflect, engage in activities like reading or meditating, and then can really regain my focus and enjoy my relaxation time. It really depends on my mood. Sometimes I crave company of friends for socializing, and other times I need solitude to relax and recharge. Balancing both allows me to maintain a happy, healthy mental state. Yeah, you see a nice long answer there. Okay, so let's move on quickly because we're running out of time. Is it important to do exercise in your free time, and why? Yeah, why is it important? I believe it's really important to exercise in my free time. Engaging in physical activity offers numerous benefits for both my physical and mental health, because first of all, exercise helps to maintain a healthy weight, strengthen muscles, improve health, and regular physical activity boosts my immune system, makes me less susceptible to illness, to disease. And mentally, exercise is a fantastic stress reliever. It releases endorphins. They're known as feel-good hormones, and it can reduce feelings of anxiety, depression. And after a great workout, I feel more energized, I feel more positive, and in turn, it enhances my overall mood as well. Okay. Additionally, exercising in my free time can be a great way to break up day-to-day routines. It allows me to take a break from the TV screen, the monitor, and my responsibilities. And it gives me a chance to focus on my well-being. Going for a run, doing a fitness class, practicing yoga, meditating, exercise in my free time allows me to have a more balanced and fulfilling lifestyle. Yeah. Okay. The next question then, do you think people spend too much time working these days? I like this question. I love this question. Yeah, I believe many people do spend too much time working these days. Yeah. Remember, the word too much has a negative connotation. Yeah, demasiado, too much. The demands of modern life, especially with the rise of technology, remote work, it blurs the lines between personal and professional time. And a lot of people feel pressure to be constantly online, constantly productive. What does that mean? It means longer work hours, reduced downtime. It results in burnout, and it can negatively impact your mental and physical health. expectation to have to respond to emails or your messages immediately or outside your regular working hours, that's a negative impact on life, such as it impacts by reducing quality time with the people that you love. It reduces your time where you can pursue hobbies or be able to relax. And overall, because even though hard work is essential for achieving goals, it's crucial for people to find a balance, something that allows them to recharge and enjoy life outside of work, prioritize well-being and personal time that can really lead to productivity and fulfillment in the long run. Okay, so let's quickly flip the screen back around. So today we've managed to complete the full speaking exam paper for the B1 preliminary Cambridge test. I will be posting the replay of this video on the YouTube channel so that you can watch through, listen to my answers, take in whatever it is that you want to write some notes and practice. And you can always listen to my question and pause it and then give your own answers and practice as if I were the examiner asking you those questions. Okay, so thank you so much everyone for joining. Tonight I'll be doing the same exam paper again at 10 p.m. Hopefully more of you can join at 10 p.m. tonight. We'll be going through the Cambridge B1 exam paper and walking through all of the different questions again. And thank you again for joining this morning, and hopefully more people can join and ask more questions this afternoon. If you do have any further questions, make sure you ask them in the comments below and I'll get back to you with all of your answers and I take a look at your answers as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye now.